Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate, or I go by AlwaysMoreSims here on YouTube, and today we're doing another speed build. So this house is called Advisor's Abode, and I'm pretty sure the last house I did was Tiger's Abode. But that was like a rare occasion where I didn't use alliteration. And you know, like if you've watched my speed builds, you know I love me some alliteration. So yeah, I did. I used alliteration, and I called it Advisor. So this house is being built for my FEGG challenge for our eldest son, Kadam. And so if you are unfamiliar with my FEGG challenge, oh, really quick, before I continue with that thought, I spent so much time on this stupid little like side patio, because like in my head I was like, oh, it'd be so cute if there was like this like platform level like front porch, and then this little like side patio off to the side that you could like step down off of. So I tried using platforms, which is the same height as what I currently have, this like lowered foundation, but that would require like I can't have stairs like that deposit out onto a platform. Like, for whatever reason, the game won't allow that. So then I was like, okay, I'll just use, constrained floor elevation. But then I completely forgot that you can't have, like, it touching another, like raised platform, because then it's going to want to do that thing where it's, like, arched up to, like, meet the platform. I can't have attached, yeah, so I was like, I'm going to go do the garage, because I know how to do garages. I can do those. And yeah, I do end up giving up on this little like side platform thing. I give up. I'm like, I'm so over it. I'm tired of fighting this. And I don't know what it was last night, because I built this last night. Well, okay. I'm recording this the day after I built it, but for you guys, I recorded it this past Friday. Anyways, I, like, yesterday, so, again, talking for me, so yesterday morning for me. No, not Thursday, it'd been Friday morning. So one of the families I babysit for, they have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and normally the 3-year-old goes with her mom, because, so I watch the baby because the mom goes to the gym. And like huge health nut, and like she keeps fit, like so does her husband. Her mom's like a health nut, so I think part of it is like that's just how she was raised. I'm like, I wish I had like that drive to go to the gym like every day, but they have this daycare that the 3-year-old really likes going to. Well, like, the past couple weeks, I'm getting off track. I will get back to the house in a minute. The past couple weeks, she just kind of leaves the 3-year-old with me, but doesn't, like, give me a heads up. And see, I take things, like, to work on while the baby goes down for her nap. And, like, it's one of those things I'm like, I bring this stuff to work on, and then I can't work on it, and that's not really my problem. It's more that I bring, like, a whole book bag full of things to do, thinking, I'm going to be productive. I'm going to get stuff done. And then she doesn't tell me that she's leaving the 3-year-old home. And I like drag all this stuff into their house, with the intentions of working on it. And anyways, it was probably and I've babysat, like I've watched the 3-year-old before. This was not like my first time watching the 3-year-old. Cause she's been leaving her home like once a week at least with me. So anyways, the roughest time I've ever had with this 3-year-old. Like, it was a really rough morning. And then, like, my day was going, like, okay, like, nothing special. And then, like, 4:30 hit, and I don't know what happened, but, like, my mood just, like, nosedived, and I, like, got, like, really depressed. I don't know what was going on, because, like, I was not in a good mood while I was building this. So, yeah, I don't know what the dealio was yesterday, but it was not fun time. I don't know. Anyways, back to what I was explaining. So if you aren't familiar with my FEGG challenge, so FEGG stands for, it's FEGG. For every generation, there's a genre. and we're currently on the third generation. And each generation I based off of like one of my favorite book series. And so this generation was based off of Tiger's Curse, which is a 5-book long series written by Colleen, and I never know how to pronounce her last name, Houck. So Hook, I don't know. But absolutely love this series. I really like it. So, and because the generation is fantasy, I thought it was fitting that like we focus on that series for like this generation. And so the heir's name, her name is Kelsey, which is the main character of the Tiger's Curse series, or at least one of them. And then she married a local townie. His name is Robert. His name was not originally Robert, it was originally Carl. But I'm really weird with names, and I had already planned out, like, because I'm kind of a like perfectionist, overachiever, can be kind of a control freak, don't like just kind of leaving things up to chance. So I planned out, and I kind of like going into challenges knowing like what I want, or like generations, like going into this generation be like, okay, I want this many kids, or like we're only allowed to have this many kids, or like I like having kind of things that are set in stone. So I actually, because I tend to kind of rush things, and so I get like first kiss, boyfriend, girlfriend, engaged, married, like all in like the same like weekend, and then try for baby, and the Sim's already pregnant. And so I can rush things. I tend to rush things because I'm really bad at spacing things out, because I have a hard time drawing the line between spacing things out and drawing things out. So yeah, anyways. But so I already knew what the kids' names were going to be, and it was going to go KRKR. And I'm like, well, Kelsey's first name starts with a K, and I just feel like, to me, it would really bug me. And I used an example similar to this when I was explaining it in the channel, like in the actual video. But I'm like, okay, so say, I think I'm like, I marry a guy named Kevin or something. And I had 4 kids, okay, and they all like, it was, I don't know, like Kristen and Kathleen and Kyle. So those are my like the first 3 kids, and then the 4th kid is like Fred. It's like, where'd the F name come from? Like that it really bugs me that like all the other names start with like one letter, and then there's the one name that doesn't. And kind of similar here. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have like 2 kids that share the first initial with their mom, so what if I had the other 2 kids share the first initial with their dad? And so that's why I changed Carl's name to Robert. And see, I actually chose Robert because he reminds me a lot of Robert Downey Jr. And I am a huge, like, I'm a nerd. Iron Man is my favorite Marvel superhero of all time. You cannot change my mind. I refuse to watch any of the new Marvel movies knowing what his fate was. And I feel like he was really done. I can go on and on. I feel like he was done dirty. Poor Tony was kind of done dirty. But anyways, this guy really reminded me of Robert Downey Jr. And so, because, I don't know, did Carl already have a goatee? I feel like he had some kind of facial hair. But, so that's what I ended up renaming him to be. It was, he was Robert. And he's an adult. So my thought was, I'm like, I mean, my aging is now broken in this game, and I have to manually age all of my Sims, which is really annoying, because this is a glitch that I had in my Disney Legacy challenge. It is the most like frustrating thing ever, and I don't know how to fix it, and I don't know why it's happened now, because I didn't have this problem in the last 2 generations. It only has just now developed in this generation. I don't know what caused it, but it is the most annoying thing ever, because like there are households throughout the world, because I have NROS story progression on. So I have like Sims in the world that are like having babies with each other, but the babies aren't aging up. So there's households with like 6 babies in it because the babies don't age up. And Kelsey's parents who moved with us to the new world, they will never die unless I like actually step in and kill them. Like it's so annoying. And like I have to manually age up my Sims every night, one day, and there are times that I forget, and then like the aging gets all out of whack. It is so frustrating, and I've tried looking up answers and I cannot find anything. I don't know what causes this. Oh, it's so annoying. It's getting me really actually aggravated as I sit here and talk about it. But I was like, okay, so if Robert, I actually ended up aging him down closer to like the beginning of his adult lifespan, because when we married him, he was already like halfway through his adult age. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to have 4 kids this generation. And if I have 4 kids and this man dies and like, or like ages up into an elder in 10 days. Now, granted, I could have just not aged him, but I liked having him aged. I don't know. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to age him down. And then to make sure that he is alive while his children, are like still children, I spaced it out that basically Kelsey got pregnant, had the baby, waited a day, got pregnant, had a baby, waited a day, got pregnant. So we've had 4 kids back to back. Well, okay, not all the parts have gone up yet, but we'll be having 4 kids, and they've all been born back to back. So I normally have like a baby and a toddler at once, and then for like a day I have 2 toddlers, and yeah, so all of the kids are really close in age. But it was like, I did it because I wanted, Robert to still like be young while his kids were young. Like I didn't want him to be an elder and his youngest to be, you know, a baby. So I've never actually married an adult townie. I always go for the young adults, when I do townies at all. 'Cause sometimes I don't do townies, I place my own Sims, but with FEGG, I've strictly told myself, I'm like, we're only doing townies. The last generation was an exception because Denny cheated on Diana, but that's another story, because I placed Warren, but that's because by that time, so because I have story progression enabled, all of the Sims in the world get married, and like there were no unmarried Sims left. Plus I'm like, okay, I already had one Sim chosen from, you know, the town. I'm gonna like, we'll make my own. And so that's where Warren came in, and I love Warren to pieces, because in this generation, Kelsey does not get along with her mother, because the previous generation was based off biography, and this generation is based off of fantasy. And so Kelsey always saw it as like that her mother's preference for all things like fact and like no nonsense for like, you know, the fantasy, for the fictional, really annoyed Kelsey. And so she has very little relationship with her mother. They don't hate each other, they don't like dislike each other, but they are also like, they have a completely blank relationship bar. There's no green, there's no red. However, in one of the upcoming parts, I invited Diana over to our house. Okay? Invited her over. And she started an argument with all of our kids, like with pretty much every kid. Well, I guess all 4 of the kids have been born. That's right. Okay, never mind. Our heir was born on Monday. I forgot about that. But we had a feast party, and we invited Diana over because now that all 4 kids have been born, I'm going to start killing her parents. I'm going to start killing Diana and Warren. Just because, like, that was my thing. I'm like, I wanted Warren to meet all 4 grandkids. Before I started, like, kind of moving them along, like, giving them a good push. But, and see, like, Warren actually taught... Was it Kashan, our like 3rd oldest? Warren actually taught him to walk completely unprompted, all by himself. He came over for a party and literally taught my toddler to walk. Like, I love the man. I love Warren. I love him so much. And I really like Diana, but for like the sake of the generation, like, we don't get along with Diana. But she met both Ren and Kashan, so they were both children. Kadam was too busy trying to get a boyfriend, but, well, and Reed was either a baby or he was a toddler, and I think Robert, I don't know, but he was doing something else. But Diana literally started arguing with she started an argument with both Ren and Kashan. I'm like, girl, this is why you are not allowed around the kids. This is supposed to be your one opportunity to meet your grandchildren before I kill you off, and this is what you do. You come over and you start arguments. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a really short generation because of how close all the kids are. And I'm pretty sure the generation stops when Reed, our heir, is a young adult. So yeah, this is Kadam's house. I built this house eventually for Kadam because I knew that since the boys are, because all 4 of our kids are boys, I knew that since they were so close to aging out, like they'll be like one after the other, I'm like, I really need to do this quickly. Like I need to have the houses ready, and I'm still probably going to get behind at some point because like the boys are just so close together in age. I accidentally hit edit town there. But yeah, so this is Kadam's house. I've already planned that Kadam and his boyfriend Lokesh, if we can successfully get them to date, they're going to adopt a little girl, and like that's gonna be like their only child, unless they like story progression supposedly gives them I don't know if story progression has ever adopted children to, I don't know. But yeah, that's why there's a purple themed bedroom upstairs. And so yeah, this is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house. It has a laundry room. What else? I think that's really about it. I was trying to, I was looking up inspiration for like, because I wanted it to fit with like the theme of, because the world we live in is Hidden Springs, and I wanted it to fit with Hidden Springs. So it's supposed to be kind of like craftsman-ish house. I don't know. It's definitely, I feel like it's a different style than what I normally do. I like it. Don't know if it's something that I'll ever use. Oh, I forgot. So I did put stuff down for a cat. I want Kadam to adopt a cat before he moves out. Or, I don't know if I want him to take Tiger. But, so I have like cat scratching posts and like cat toys and like the food bowl in the kitchen, but I meant to place a litter box in the garage and I forgot. So if you end up using this house, feel free to just make sure don't take credit for it. You'll need to place a litter box if you choose to play with pets, a car park spot in the garage because I also forgot to do that, and a laundry basket in the bedroom upstairs. I forgot to do that. There's one in the bathroom upstairs. There's just not one in the bedroom. So, that will need to happen. Also, I hate how sporadic those lights are. There's just like the 4 lights in the living room, and that is it. Do not like that. But, it looks like we're coming to an end here. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Again, feel free to use the house if you would like. I have no issues with it. Just make sure, you give credit where credit is due. And yeah, I have my gaming channel linked down in the description below. I have started playing Arkham Knight. I have never played Batman Arkham Knight, and it is definitely interesting. I almost feel like I'm not playing an Arkham game because there's just something about it that is like so different than the other 3. But yeah, we have that, and then I also have my Twitter link down below, so if you want to go check either of those out, I'd really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys. Oh, really quick, I never even actually explained why it's called Advisor's Abode. So, really, this house is for Kadam. Kadam in the book series is like the king's royal advisor kind of guy, like handles like war, like, anyways, that is why it's called Advisor's Abode, because it's for Kadam. Kadam was like an advisor, so yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. Bye bye.